Hey. We'll just get the commentos up and then we'll get stuck in.
Aye.
So you take in YouTube and Instagram?
I will.
I'll take the bus book.
Let me just get rid of all this. Got a bunch of conversations going on with potential new members. Just have to get rid of those.
No problemo. So how's everybody doing on this Sunday? If you haven't done so already, we just released a really fun video, Kilted sledging. So even if you've watched it, go back and watch it again.
Watch it 3 times. You have to watch it 3 times to fully appreciate it. That's the golden ratio.
It was one of those kind of fun videos to film. I'm sure it was fun to edit and then fun to watch too. Put a smile on your face today.
So please go watch. Don't watch it right now. Just sit and listen to us, obviously.
Yep.
But as soon as you're off this, go watch Kilted sledging.
It's
worth it. Yeah, my
internet's
working really slow.
Because we've got so many devices on it right now. Choo-choo! We'll get the comments up eventually once it all starts to play nice. Look at my pus, it's frozen. Jen's on, Jenny's on, Barbara as well says hello, and I'm sure there's more than 3. Where's the live chat? There we go. And Tara's on as well. Heidi's saying, what is in your membership and how much does it cost? Asking for my cat. Heidi, we'll get to that.
Meow. So whenever we go through our intake process, there's a reason that we do things the way we do them. We don't just want to open the doors, open the floodgates, and for everyone to say, oh yeah, I want a membership. So there's a reason that we like to have conversations with everyone to start with. But we did this last time as well. We did a live feed like this, and it seems to weed out the time wasters and the people who are the tire kickers. It's like, I'm going to see what this is all about. So we're going to go through a bunch of things about the membership, and it might just put you off, and that's okay.
There's a lot of people as well that might not be at the right stage of change to make positive changes to their health this year. So they come along, they look at things, they're sort of close to being motivated, but then like, it's not me just yet. And that's completely okay too, but it's best that we establish that, as quickly as possible so that 1, nobody wastes their money, and 2, nobody wastes their time either. So typically we do a live like this. It might seem a little bit brutal, but we just get straight to the point. There's reasons for the way we do things, which we're going to cover. And for those, we always say the people that are genuinely keen to make changes will jump through the necessary hoops to make it happen. Yes. The ones that are not willing to jump through the hoops don't want it bad enough. It's as simple as that.
So we're going to talk about our hoops. I'm going to put my computer down for now because there's a bunch of questions firing already. There's a bunch of comments. It's really important that we get a few points across first, and then we can go to the comments and we can absolutely have a chat. If you've got any questions, just save them for now, and then we'll pop back on in a second. The first thing is we're going to cover probably the most common question that we get in the conversations on Facebook that makes us think instantly, and we're 99.9% of the time right, and that is, what's the cost?
People that come straight in asking the cost, we completely understand why people do this, but at the same time, that we have found that I think 99% of the people that ask for the price before they even fully know or fully engage in the process don't sign up. Yeah. So we typically just don't engage with that. We just say, you know what, if you're not willing to engage in a good conversation about our goals, because the conversation's free, that's what people forget. And if you're not willing to have that conversation, you're like, I don't want to waste my time having a conversation. I just want to know the price. Then why should we waste our time giving you the price if you're not willing to have the conversation?
Exactly. It's like saying, we're both coffee drinkers, for instance, okay? And it's like I was going to say a coffee producer, like, okay, what's the cost of? I want to be able to make a nice cup of coffee at home. What's the cost? They're going to be like, well, it depends, and they could sell us some nice coffee filters, right? And unless we're actually in the process of making coffee in that method, then it's a complete waste of money and time. However, if you use coffee filters and you've got a specific coffee machine that has to use these filters, then it can be a very, very valuable purchase. So when we get people coming through the door, one, yes, we know that chances are, I would say 95% of the people want to lose weight. Okay, they want to lose some sort of weight. That's fine, but let's chat about it. Let's chat about what that means to you, how much weight you want to lose. We're going to ask you a bunch of questions. Other people, it's not so much, but we can chat about that as well. But it depends on your lifestyle, your exercise history, what your goals are, what you're hoping to achieve, your previous experiences, if you used coaches before, what you're hoping to get from the program, what about nutrition, what about the general lifestyle factors. There's loads that we can chat about, and then we can see if our program is going to be good value for money for you or not.
I think some people try and come in with a price initially because they don't want to be hard sold to or anything like that. We will not do that to you. You know, you get salesmen out there that do that kind of nonsense. We are not salesmen, we're coaches. We will literally have a consultation. Then later on we'll ask you, have you thought about the information we spoke about? And then it's a yes or a no. And then if you tell us no, we leave you be. So, you know, coming straight in and asking for the price, you're basing your decision, you're putting a value on your goals. And I think it's absolute madness, especially in this day and age, to put a value on your health like that. Whereas you would quite easily spend the same money, I'm not going to talk prices here, but you could easily spend that money on other things in your life that entertain you, but the things that are actually good for you, you'll not be willing to invest in it. And that's ultimately what it is, an investment into yourself. But people that think that way, that only want to know the cost, are defining their life in prices and numbers, which is not the way to do things.
We're not, like, we've both got personal training background, and to have somebody on a one-to-one basis to offer what we used to offer our one-to-one clients comes at an absolute premium, and that's why we set the businesses up the way we did before. This is a group program and it's online, so it's not the personal training cost, but it is an investment nonetheless that you have to consider. And if you're basing things on price, you will not be one of our members. We can almost guarantee you that. And it's not from us saying you're not our member. It's you going to say, oh, no, I'm not willing to spend that. I'm not willing to spend any money. Some people come in and say, oh no, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, because you want the free option. And if you want the free option, that's absolutely fine too. We spend a lot of our week, like we've just been talking about the sledging video. We make videos on a constant basis for social media with a lot of information. There's a lot of inspiration, education, motivation. That's our three things. And we will continue to do that indefinitely. There's always free content. We want to help as many people across the globe as possible to be healthy and to be happy. That will always be available. We also have free groups that give us a little bit more specific coaching. That's free as well. So if you're coming to us with a conversation and saying, what's the price, then chances are you're looking for a really cheap option, and we're not a really cheap option.
The next question we usually, or thing we come across, which probably means the membership's not for you, is if you're not willing to engage in the process. That starts with the consultation questions. When we ask you questions, if you're given one-word responses, that's not a good sign. That shows to us that you're not that motivated about your goals. The kind of questions we'll ask you are related to your goals and what they mean to you. If you're given one-word response like, yes, I suppose so, maybe, why would we want to work with you if it sounds like you don't really want to work with us, if you're not fired up? And that's what I was saying earlier about, it's okay for people not to be ready to make change. That's fine. But don't pretend that you're ready and then just give lackluster results. If this is something that you want to do, then engage in the conversation. Again, the conversation is free. We cannot stress that enough. Why you wouldn't want to have a conversation about your health is madness.
Yeah. To fast forward, if you were to become one of our members, and there might be members watching right now who can validate what I'm about to say, we provide training, nutrition coaching. Okay, now the training and nutrition coaching is good advice. Okay, we've done this for a decade and a half now. We know the type of training that needs to lose weight. We know the nutrition advice and guidance that you need to lose weight. But that's not where the magic lies. The magic lies in the engagement with your coaches. And this is why we go live and we do regular, multiple times per week, live coaching sessions where we'll come in with a lesson, but then we stay on and we do like a Q&A, very much like what you're watching right now. And the people who get best results are the ones who engage and ask questions. Like you say, well, the lesson said this, but this is the way my lifestyle is. what do you think I should be doing? And then we can give you the answer. We can then help you make those lessons bespoke to you. That comes from the engagement. So then rewind time again back to right now, where people, they're not even joined yet, but they're giving the one-word answers, they're giving very short responses. You're going like, you don't really care about this at all. And therefore, if you were to become a member, you're probably not going to engage with it, and you're probably not going to get results. We want people who have thought about this and engaging with it, because it's a big sign of then what you're going to be like as a member. Are you going to listen to the advice, ask questions, apply it to your life, tweak the lessons when it's appropriate to do so, ask for help when it's needed? That's what's going to get you the results.
Another thing to think about if you are considering a membership, you must have a can-do mentality. There are a lot of people in conversations saying, I would love to join your membership, but I can't because I've got bad knees or a bad back or a bad this. If you're hiding behind some sort of inability to do something, then all you're doing is hindering your goals. We've worked with many people that have got a can-do attitude. They just say, Stephen, Rab, I've got bad knees. What's an alternative? We're like, great. We give them the alternative and they get stuck in. They don't hide behind exercises they can't do. We've got people that can't kneel, so we give them alternatives. People with bad shoulders, they have a can-do attitude. So they take on board, they're like, well, there's certain exercises I might not be able to do, but they focus on the things they can do. And that goes for any level of fitness. Sometimes people say, I'd love to do what you guys do or come and work with you guys, but I'm not fit enough. There was someone that said they were going to get fit first and then come and join our membership, which was madness, because we take people on at any fitness level. It doesn't matter.
Often, and if I go back to the very first point that we made about when people come saying, what's the cost? It's often a question that's raised up because you want to pay money and have some sort of product or some sort of tangible thing that you can say, well, that's what I spent money on. This is the thing. So when you look at, like, say, the liposuction industry, people spend thousands of dollars, pounds, euros on liposuction because it's an instant before and after effect. Okay, it's a very short-term effect because the lifestyle that created the fat in the first place is still present, whether you get liposuction or not. But that's besides the point. When you pay thousands of pounds, you want an instant result. So when you wake up from liposuction, or I don't know if you go to sleep or not, but when you come out of the surgery, you're kind of like, boom, look at that, lost all that weight. Now, over the course of 3 to 6 months, you will put that back on again, because chances are your subconscious will still be in the lifestyle that created the fat in the first place. But when it comes to something like this, oftentimes it's because you're not really willing to engage and have this sort of mentality of, this is the very thing that I need. This is going to change my life. But those who are like, this is going to change my life, when it comes to the fee, they're kind of like, well, great. I'm ready for the changes. I'm ready to take action. And I often make the point that, you know, people don't have hundreds of thousands of pounds in their bank, yet they'll go and buy a house or they'll go and buy a car with money they don't have. They can sometimes, you know, pay for a wedding, for instance, with money they don't have. They'll save up and they'll do what's required because of the value that it gives you. Like, a house is a valuable asset to have, gives you somewhere to live. Okay, I understand that. Cars will allow you to get to work, but it's not always just for work. Sometimes people just want cars so they can get around easier. But they're not willing to spend a fraction of that cost on their own physical body, which is insane. And often it's just a case of, do you believe that you can get the results or not? If you believe you can get the results, great, let's have a chat. If you don't believe you can even get the results, if you don't believe you can take action because of fill in the blank with your lifestyle, then just don't send us a message. It will save your time, save our time, and we don't have to worry about it.
So there we are. So this membership is probably not for you. But for those that are gung-ho and want it bad enough and think, you know what, I can say yes or no to all of those, I'm going to get stuck into my goals, then you're the right people for our membership and we can have a conversation with you. Now, a perfect example of that is there was issues at the start because there's different EU privacy laws with messaging, whatever. A bunch of people tried to message us and couldn't quite sort it. We had a workaround, so the ones that were really keen paid attention and gave the workaround a go and worked away and made it happen. We made another workaround using an email. Some people have taken advantage of that. But there'll be a lot of people who have just stepped back and thought, no, it's okay, I'll just leave it. I'll use that as an excuse not to get stuck in. Well, that's fine. You wait till the next intake or go and work with another program. But I guarantee you, further down the line, you're going to see people getting results. She's like, oh, I wish that I'd been able to message them. I wish they didn't have a fault in their system or whatever. You put the blame on someone else when ultimately, where there's a will, there's a way. And the people that have joined us already were so keen to get stuck in. They made the effort to do it. They had a can-do attitude, and they're the kind of people we want to be talking to.
Yeah. So if you're watching this right now thinking, actually, one, I do believe that the person that's looking back at me in the mirror is not who I am deep down, okay? You believe that you can get the results, okay? And we've done this for a decade and a half, and I can guarantee every single person watching this right now, you can get results. I can tell you that, Rab can tell you that, but you have to believe it yourself. If you're willing to engage in a conversation, the coaching starts before you give us any money. Okay, I can't emphasize that enough. The conversation is free. It is a consultation. It's us trying to help you, trying to understand you a little bit more. And more often than not, I've had conversations with a bunch of people and they've gone, yeah, I'm not too sure about what the next step is. However, I can tell you that this conversation has been great. It's really sort of made me understand my own mind, what's possible, what's not possible, and what I should be doing moving forward. And then we can start to discuss if they're going to be a member or not. So let's just have that conversation. You can email us if you're really struggling with Facebook Messenger, you can't get through. Email us at coaches@thekiltedcoaches.com. But the best way is through Facebook Messenger because it's just a constant conversation. We don't have to write big emails and then wait for a big email back. It's just an easier conversation to have.
Happy days. There we are.
Right,
We'll get on
so
the commentos.
Let's go to the comments and see what everybody is saying.
Let me just see. Stacey Chase, who's one of our new members, says, have a great day. They must have been shooting off, I'm guessing. Joan said, so how do you know the membership's not for me? Well, we don't know if the membership's up for you, but you said it 10 minutes ago, so you'll know by now whether it is not for you or not. It says probably, so it might be.
We've got Chewbacca on. That's a common name that we've seen, not actually for a while, actually.
Chewbacca's on.
Simply Deep. Remember Simply Deep?
Simply Deep, yeah.
Chris in the chat. All the best. Pretty sure.
There's Dawn, one of our new members. They and their program is totally worth the investment cost. So there you go.
Yes.
That's somebody just new in. They don't know us long enough to lie for us. So there we are. They're telling the truth.
We need a gunshot for Rob. Rob, thank you for the donation, buddy. Always appreciated. And we will buy ourselves a wee bottle of whiskey with that, probably.
There we are. So I'm just going to go to the bottom. So
Susan Hurst is on. Susan's one of our members. Susan says, absolutely, the guys are providing everything we need, but you still have to put in the work. Not a magic pill. I've had to modify things until I could do the full exercises despite being very unfit. Yeah, so Susan, you've been a member for a wee while now, and yeah, you struggled at the start, almost quit on us, and come back stronger, fitter, with a bit of a fire in your belly. We obviously had to modify things, constantly changing, but you've got an amazing result to show for it now because of that perseverance. And so, yeah, you're shining an example of what we're looking for.
Happy days. Kerry's saying, if I become a member, do I have to swim in a loch?
Yes. Twice a week.
Yeah. I was trying to.
Lizzie Blue says, early morning here in Oz, going to go for a bike ride this morning before it gets too hot. Thinking I might gently persuade hubby to have a chat. Thanks for the info and all that you do. Lizzie, you're absolutely welcome, and yeah, tell your hubby to get in touch.
I'm just sending an email link to Heidi. There we are.
Cool.
Mary was just responding saying, I had to go to the website, thekiltedcoaches.com, and hit the message button there. They didn't respond right away. I'm in the Western US, so different time zones, but Rab answered me the same day. That's right, Mary. He did indeed.
There we go. We donation from Susan. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan. Gunshot.
Patricia's saying, love your socks. How does the program work for a man in late 60s? From Jack Kramer. Works the same for somebody in the late 60s as does for everybody else.
Yeah.
Progress beats anything else. So basically, we give you a bit of a program and we say, do what you feel you can, plus a fraction more. And everybody comes with their own fitness levels, their own exercise history, their own goals, their limitations, their boundaries, their strengths, their weaknesses. So you meet it where you are, and then you make it a little bit. And we're, like I said, we're there week in, week out. This is not a program that we're just going to send to you, tell you to get on with it. We are there with you. We do live coaching so that we can help you modify it to your fitness level. So yeah.
Heather Christian says, I've had more success with these two than I did with any PT. I'm so thankful I was willing to try again after so many PT failures. My injury was a long abdominal incision for bile duct resection, which was from sternum to hip to give you scope of injury. So yeah, that's right, Heather, you were coming back from injury and we worked. You've been with us for quite a while,
Yeah.
Heather, actually, come think of it.
Alan says, do you work with 55-year-old men who have been away from workouts due to heart surgery? So Alan, obviously you know your body best. I would say first and foremost, your first port of call is to speak to your doctor to make sure that it's okay for you to exercise. If they say yes, then yes, absolutely, as long as you're monitoring how you feel. And like I've just said to Jack, we meet you where you are and we go a fraction more. It's always important just to make a little bit of progress without trying to do too much.
Responding to Billy Joe House Henry saying how to join. So I'm just sending you to thekiltedcoaches.com. All the information about what we offer is there, and then there's a message us button as well. Or you can just message us here on Facebook. But sometimes it.
So Rob is just saying, I was a member and saw it as an investment in me. You get out of it what you put in. Absolutely, Rob. Rob was very similar body shape to you, remember?
That's right. Yeah.
And he did really well. In fact, on limitations as well, pretty sure, was Rob in the same intake as Joe? Joe was recovering from a stroke. So when people were saying, oh, I'm in my 60s, can you work with us? We worked with Joe, who I think was in his 70s, maybe
Joe
in 60s.
I think so, at least, yeah.
He's either 60s or 70s, but he was recovering from a stroke. He couldn't do the majority of the exercises that we gave him. But again, he had that can-do attitude. He's like, show me what I can do. How do I modify this? What can I do to make sure that I'm getting that energy expenditure? I'm challenging my body. And he made it work. So, yeah, absolutely.
Rob was actually one of the first guinea pigs for the lean bulk program. So our Everlane Essentials is our first 12 weeks of the program. Gives you the nutrition, the workouts, and obviously we're coaching along with mindset. But there are people that want to gain weight with us. We've got a lean bulk program which utilizes dumbbells and barbells, has all the nutrition there as well, and it's also a 12-week program. And Rob was the guinea pig for it.
That's right.
So once we created it, Rob gave it a go. I think he did the full 12 weeks of it. Yeah, so that was a while back.
Yeah. JJ1818 is saying, hello, how's it, fellas? Question, I'm a truck driver, so I'm on my butt for 10 hours a day. I have a kettlebell, a workout mat, an electric skillet, and a little ice box. Would that fit your program? Yes, absolutely would. We would probably recommend you buying a second kettlebell of the same weight at a later stage. But for now, yes, absolutely. That's what we utilize, is just a kettlebell. Simple as that.
Now, Joe Bartek saying, you seem to mainly focus on the physical aspects of weight loss. How do you deal with the mental aspect? So, Joe, we actually focus more on the mental aspect than anything else. There are a lot of PTs and online trainers out there that can deliver amazing physical programs. There's lots of nutritionists out there that can also give you just as equal nutritional information. So we give you the best physical and nutritional, but it's our coaching element which takes care of the top 2 inches that's the key. Because you can have the best program following the best nutrition advice, but if your mind isn't in the right place, you won't stick to it, you won't follow it properly. We have mindset lessons we deliver week to week. With our live coaching sessions, we can discuss things with you. We've been through it with thousands of clients now. I mean, ultimately, your mind has to be in the right place to get results. And we also understand that falling off the wagon is part of the process. Now, there's a lot of sort of ideals out there that have a perfectionist mindset when it comes to their health and fitness goals. So the minute they fall off the wagon, they throw in the towel. They say, that's it. My perfect fitness routine is now ruined because I had those donuts on Friday night followed by pizza and a few beers. That's it. I'm canning it. It's done. It's spoiled. It's over. I'm divorcing my fitness. Job done. Whereas we don't believe in that. We believe that falling off the wagon is part of the process. So we're like, right, pick yourself back up, dust yourself back off, learn from it, and then Saturday, get back into your routines, get back on the plan. And understanding that, as well as reducing stress levels, is the key to success. So actually, the mental aspect is the most important one.
This is why we're there every step of the way with our members, because, like I say, the exercise and nutrition, that's great and it's really important. But unless your head is in the game, it's not going to. You're just not going to apply it to your life. It's the application of that advice that gets the results, and that's why we have to do this. I'm just going popping over to Instagram very, very quickly. We've got Footy Chick who says, Glad I joined in July. Best thing I ever did. Now I don't know who Footy Chick is though.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, it does ring a bell. I don't know. I can't remember who it is. Anyway, she says, "As being fitter, happier, and loving life and slimmer, new mentality, mindset, and fitness."
Now, Sarah Palmisano Clardy says, I have about £100 to lose. Does the programme go past 12 weeks? Yes, Sarah, it's a membership that we offer. The 12 weeks is the initial sort of, you pay a joining fee that covers you for the first 12 weeks. And then after that, there's an ongoing monthly fee that you can cancel at any time. A lot of our members, they get through the 12 weeks and they stay. In fact, the majority of our members stay full stop. You can repeat the first 12 weeks as often as you like just for your regular membership fee, which is considerably less than your joining fee. You can go on as long as you can. Some of our members that are on the stream today have been with us. Well, Janice is there. She's been with us for I think well over a year. Susan is a year and a half, year and a bit.
Yeah.
Some of them 2 years, 3 years. So yeah, you can stay as long as you feel you need to. We try and educate you about all the workouts, nutrition, and we try and motivate you at the same time, eventually so that you effectively wouldn't need us. You could then just choose to stay.
Some people literally come for 3 months and then they get enough information and they're sort of solid enough in their own mind and their own heart. They're like, I'm going to do this by myself. Other people come for 3 months and they say, oh, I can do this by myself. They'll leave and then they'll come back. You know, we've had people rejoin because they felt like that actually they can't do it without that constant support and guidance. Everybody's different. We and that's why we kind of sell like a 3 month up front, so that you can actually get a good run at it. You get the sort of instant results. You learn enough about nutrition, learn enough about your mindset and fitness that you can then take it on. But a lot of people say, do you know what, for the nominal monthly fee that's there, it's worth staying for the long-term benefits. If you've got a long-term goal, like a lot of people come to us and say, I've got 5 stone to lose, I've got 10 stone to lose, I've got £100 to lose, whatever it is, and that's not going to happen in 3 months. So it's really up to you how long you stay. Will Naughty is saying, recent hypertension diagnosis, still stabilizing, but now looking at starting up. No idea what to do. Have a chat with us. Drop us a line on Facebook. Go to thekiltedcoaches.com, click on the button, that will send you to a messenger on Facebook, and then we can have a chat.
Jenny said, oh, I thought it was the fee and the monthly membership started right away. So Jenny, no, your joining fee will cover you to about May the 10th.
Yeah.
And then if you choose to stay, your monthly fee kicks in after that and it's considerably less. Plus, once you've got the first 12 weeks out of the way, you then get access to all our graduate content, which includes sleep school. We're going to have gut health. We've got the Fed workouts, kettlebells. We've got a whole bunch of the graduate stuff. The reason we don't put the graduate stuff in the initial 12 weeks is we don't want to overload you with information too soon. We want to make sure you've got your foundation in place, what we call the essentials, which is all our nutrition lessons and the base level of fitness. People run through that, and then when they're ready to go, we start giving them more advanced content if they want it, basically.
There we go.
So there you
go. G-Sharp. Who's G-Sharp? G-Sharp. I'm enjoying fresh start, working up expectations, progress, the focus on mental engagement, critical, posted my weight, and now ready to post photos. Sounds like you're fired up for that.
Victoria Smith saying, do you guys have a limit for starting weight? Some PTs aren't happy to take on morbidly obese client even with no other health conditions. Thank you. So Victoria, no, we don't have a limit. We've got a very broad range of weights. What we will say is that if you're got a lot to lose, then please, if you join us, take advantage of the fact that we can modify everything for you. As Steve was saying earlier, you have to, if you're going to join us and you do have a lot to lose and maybe limits movement or certain exercises, you've also got to have the attitude to ask for help. You've got to say, look, I struggle with this movement, what's the alternatives? Because we're with you every step of the way, but if you don't ask the questions, we can't then give you the answers. So, I mean, just last week we we've got pre-work going on at the moment in the group, and we put a workout out there. And the workout has a few movements in there that sometimes people struggle with. So they usually either email us in or they message into the group saying, look, I'm really struggling with this movement. So we create a modifications video based on the feedback we get so that everybody gets an individual modification. So if you had a lot of weight to lose, there might be a few different modifications required, but that's completely okay. But you've got to have the mentality to ask, because if you sit quietly, then you won't get the most out of your program. But to answer your question, there is no upper limit as long as you're motivated to get stuck in and you've got the okay from your doctor.
As long as you take responsibility for yourself. Ali Baker saying, off to read the website later, have a hard talk to myself. then make a change for the better. Well, Ali, yeah, absolutely. Read the website. Everything is there. There's testimonials there. There's all the information that you need. Read it all, and then just click the button. It takes you straight to Facebook to have a conversation.
Is that Danielle on YouTube? Is that Danielle?
I'll get down to it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to lose my space.
I'm just checking my eyesight from here.
Alan Buddendeck says, thank you. Docs have given me the green light to proceed. I will be in touch soon. Alan, fantastic.
One moment, please. It jumped.
We've got a donation from Aus. Aus is one of our previous members. Aus, I know him. Happy days.
But we chatted to you again recently, Aus.
Yeah, I chatted to Aus. Aus and our daughter, actually.
Liz Fraser, I really need to not only lose weight, but tone up and get back to fitness, hopefully to be fit for when normality come back after being stuck in front of a PC for 11 months home working. Absolutely, Liz. So if you are interested in working with us, again, the conversation is free. You can either message us straight here on Facebook, or if you want a bit more information, go to our website, thekiltedcoaches.com. All the information is there, and there's even a message us button on the website. So
there you go.
Check it out.
Fred is saying, I've had a few strokes in the past 4 years. Prior to that, I did powerlifting, then bodybuilding. My body fat was 11 to 12%. I've lost 125 pounds of lean muscle. My balance is mostly gone. Fred, I'm not sure there's a question there, but I would definitely recommend you working with a physiotherapist or some sort of strength and conditioning coach where you are. First and foremost, just to get you moving back up. I don't know how severe your limitations are.
Ron, one of our new members, what tartan are you wearing? The Royal Stuart, Ron.
Always.
Yeah.
We're actually looking into getting a Kilted Coaches tartan, but that's hush hush at the moment. Lizzie Blue says, I've learned you don't have to go fast, you just have to go. Helped with my motivation. Yeah, one foot in front of the other, just move forward always. And Lizzie Blue's also given us a donation. Thank you very much. Gunshot for you too.
Days.
Thank you.
Wendy's saying modified exercises are fantastic for injury prevention as well as leveling up your workouts. Absolutely, Wendy. Absolutely. And it's interesting because there's certain exercises that I don't like doing, or my body doesn't like doing. So, for example, you get this movement that you used to do for building up the triceps. It was called a skull crusher, where you lie down on the bench, you've got a sort of Z bar, and you bend it down towards the head. Now, in my youth, I was great at these, I was strong on these, and I loved them. But either the balance of my muscles as I've got older has changed. Maybe I'm predominantly more on the bicep, I don't know. But now when I do that particular movement, my elbows and tendons in here just don't like it. So I say, no, I just don't do it. So if I was in a program and someone said, right, you're going to do skull crushers, I would even be putting my hand up and saying, look, I want a modification because my body just doesn't like them. So even if you're fit and healthy, there might be some movements that your body just doesn't want to move that way. And that's okay, as long as you can ask for modifications. We don't invent the exercises. These exercises have been created decades ago. We're just delivering them as part of a program. If one exercise isn't great for you, we're not going to be offended. We just pick another one out of the inventory and say, right, this one does the same muscle groups, do that instead. So we don't get offended by it. So ask for mods.
Pom Dad Dave says, due to my work, I am not allowed to have a Facebook. Can I still use your program without it? I'm not sure what you do for work. If it's just a case of having a profile, I wouldn't worry about that. The bottom line is, no, you don't need Facebook, but that's where the support is. And that's where you interact with us like this. Now, if you're on Instagram, then you obviously allow some sort of social profiles. What we normally recommend, because we've had a few people before in the past who, it's not been from their work, they're just from their personal thoughts about it. They're like, I don't want to have a Facebook because I don't believe in the privacy, blah, blah, blah. We say, go to Gmail and open up a free account that you only use for your Facebook. Set up a Facebook that has no profile picture. You can use a fake name, you can use a fake email address. As long as we know who you are, then you can access and you can ask questions. You don't have to have any information, you don't have to have any friends, you don't have to have nothing at all, just enough that you can interact.
Boom. Philip's asking, what do you think of intermittent fasting? Philip from Belfast. So we love intermittent fasting. We get this question a lot. The answer is almost rehearsed to a certain extent. And there's different types of intermittent fasting. I prefer doing time-restricted dieting, which is basically eating for set periods of time. So I eat from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening, and then I fast right the way through till the next morning. So it's a 12-hour eating window. Ideally, I'd have a 9-hour eating window, but it just doesn't fit into my schedule at the moment. Stephen prefers?
I prefer 24 hours and longer. So I'm experimenting at the end of, so basically when this program starts, I'm actually going to be planning in a longer, it's going to be a 3-day fast. But for now, just for the general habit of fasting, I like a 24-hour fast once a week. And it's just a really nice way of giving your digestive system a break. It comes with a whole other bunch of benefits. I was also recently speaking to a friend of mine who is very much into nutrition, and they were saying that actually there's a lot of the benefits of fasting that don't kick in after until after 3 days. So there are benefits to time restricted, 24 hours, but there's bigger benefits when you do now. That's not something that we do in our programs. This is more from a personal experience type of thing. We do intermittent fasting on our program, but we talk about how to factor it in very safely and effectively.
Preston saying, this question is for my wife Amberly. She's had a knot in her video for several months now and is unable to straighten her elbow fully. Any stretches you can recommend? In her video, I think you mean in her elbow. Is it auto-corrected, is it? Or I'm not sure what the auto in her video means, but it might be triceps, depending on where you're meaning the knot is. It might mean you have to stretch the tricep, or if you mean the bicep, you want to put your hand flat against the wall, push the shoulder forward so you feel a nice stretch through here. Another one you can do as well, when you clasp your hands behind the back and straighten your arms all the way down behind the back, there's the delts and a bit of the triceps as well. I'm not sure what the typo was, Preston, to be honest. So
Benjamin's asking on Instagram, Benjamin Tipton, what are your thoughts on Wim Hof breathing and cold therapy methods? Big fan. I do a cold shower every single day. And I like to practice Wim Hof breathing. I don't do it every day at the moment, but it's something that I'm increasing as we go on. Big fan of Wim Hof and looking to explore that a little bit further. I'm actually considering becoming an instructor in Wim Hof.
There we are. Nikki, who's one of our members, says, because of the coach's excellent mindset lessons and videos, I no longer have any desire to buy or eat junk food and processed foods. Thanks, lads, with a big heart. Thank you, Nikki. Eating healthy and working out go hand in hand. I find that increase my happiness. Oh, thank you, Nikki. There'll probably a love heart on that for you. There you go.
Slummy Bunny, do you believe in probactics? I'm going to presume that that is probiotics, and yes, absolutely. Probiotics and prebiotics are very good for your gut health. Not everyone needs to take them as a supplement, depending on how your diet is, but they can be very beneficial if you're struggling with a few things. I would recommend if you get a really good health food shop, sometimes the staff are really well trained, sometimes they're not, so do your research. But if not, work with a functional medicine practitioner or a nutritionist, or somebody like myself or Rab that can work with somebody on an individual. We don't work on an individual basis at the moment. We just can't offer it. We don't have the time. So, but yes, absolutely.
Days. I didn't see Molly's other one, but Molly says, or know any foods that can help with inflammation. So if you add some raw honey into your diet, that's good for inflammation. Is it turmeric? That's good as well.
Turmeric, yeah.
Yeah, and is it curcumin or is that the same thing?
Curcumin, turmeric, even like ginger and garlic are very good as well. Fish oils. Very good for
inflammation. I didn't see what your other one was, Molly. The comments are jumping, so my apologies.
Another donation from Susan.
Wait, got shot again.
Superheroes, my superheroes. I'm off for birthday dinner. Susan, have an awesome birthday. Lots of love.
Meg saying, is it possible to overeat on protein, or is high always good when training? So Meg, in a nutshell, it is possible to overeat on protein. So when you consume too much protein, now this goes for anyone that's followed the keto diet incorrectly, for example. So keto diet, the idea is that cutting out carbs and predominantly eating fats and protein puts your body in a state of ketosis, burning fat. But the problem is if somebody then has too much protein, your body can convert protein into carbohydrate in a process known as glucogenesis, right? Now that's if you're on the keto diet. But that also stands if you're just on a standard diet. If you're eating large amounts of protein that your body can't process, it can turn it into carbs via glucogenesis. So is it possible to overeat protein? Yes, but medium to high protein is...
It depends on what you mean by overeating something. I mean, you can overconsume carbohydrates and it turns to fat, but if you're looking to put on fat, then that can be a very good thing. It depends on what the negative impact is like. Can you overconsume protein? Well, it depends on what you feel is a negative impact. If you're looking to be in ketosis, like Rab said, then yes, absolutely. But generally speaking, it's pretty hard for your body to take it. Like a lot of people say, oh, if you eat too much protein, it'll just turn to fat. In our experience, that's not going to be the case. It's a very small percentage. What happens with most people when you eat too much protein is you fire up your metabolism so fucking much and you build up so much like muscle tone, and you're because it takes more calories to burn or to sort of process protein than it does for carbs and fats. What you're doing is you're ramping up your metabolism quite a lot just processing that food alone. So like 100 calories worth of chicken is going to have a completely different effect on your body as 100 calories worth of just plain carbs like rice or pasta. Your body won't absorb as much of the calories because it's using more to just process the food, and that's why people get the meat sweats. So yes, there are some sort of effects of eating too much protein, but generally speaking, for weight loss, they're all pretty good.
Nikki's footy chick.
Ah, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, where were we? There was a question and I lost it. Oh well. Some say keto diet no good, says Slum Bunny. Yeah, the keto diet can be amazing. Generally speaking, what we were talking about before, about the whole mindset side of things. Generally speaking, the keto diet has got some great benefits for the particular individuals. Okay, it's not suitable for everybody, but it can be fantastic. The issue with it is if your mind is not in that place, and if you don't really like eating that much fat, and if your lifestyle doesn't suit it, it's going to be short-lived. Therefore, what's the point? But if you enjoy the lifestyle and it really suits you, then go for it.
It's just stress levels, isn't it? Because if I tried keto for too long, it would stress me out trying to maintain that with my current lifestyle. So that's why I make the choice not to go down that route. But there are people that absolutely love just going no carb. In fact, when you go low carb for a long period, you feel quite good. You'd probably do quite well on
it. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I'm fine. I feel really energetic. My mind is very clear when I go low carb. As long as I'm focused on it. So the issue is it's getting into that sort of regular lifestyle and getting the subconscious to sort of come along and to make it part of your lifestyle. But yeah, when I go low carb, I'm so focused on getting healthy fats in. I go for like eat more sardines. I have olives. I have sort of coconut milk. The really fatty stuff in my coffee. So I'm constantly just looking at where am I getting my fats from. You can basically fry up your food, put some extra butter on different vegetables, and it can be really enjoyable. As long as I'm focused on healthy fats, I love going low carb. But yeah, there's some carbs are really tasty though.
It's like it tastes so good.
Happy Mommy says I lost 76 pounds.
Happy days. That's
well done,
Mommy. Janice is saying, I never realised how much mindset played into the whole being healthy thing. That's where the coaches shine. Not only do they show you ways to get your body healthy, they make your mindset a priority too. That's bang on, Janice. Happy days. It is all about the mindset, isn't it? We were talking about this once. We were talking about how back when we were both PTs in the gym, we both worked with clients, and we were discussing it one day. I had a client that I'd worked with, and she'd lost a whole ton of weight getting ready for her wedding. And the wedding happened, and she got busy with work, and I didn't see her for the best part of a year. Then she came back. Now, she hadn't piled it all back on. She'd only put, say, 2 stone of it back on. And she was going at it again, but trying to get that 2 stone off. Now, she lost 4.5 of me originally, but trying to get the 2 stone off was 10. It felt like it was 10 times harder because her drive wasn't there. And it was interesting because she was following the same routine we did before. The dietary routine was exactly the same. It was like, look, this is what works for you. Follow this. and realised her mindset wasn't quite there. She didn't want it bad enough. She wanted it bad enough the first time round because it was her wedding. She had wedding photos. She had this real drive and motivation. The second time round, she wanted to be healthier. Yes, she wanted it, but not bad enough. That's why within our program, we prioritise the importance of goal setting, not just setting your goal, but also delving into why that goal is important to you. Because if you can get to the root of that, sometimes it makes you cry getting to the root of it, but if you can get absolutely to the core of your why you're doing what you're doing, you're more likely to get success.
Yeah, there's a few things there's two main drivers in life, and that's the avoidance of pain, seeking of pleasure. And like Rab said, like something like a wedding, it's the seeking of the pleasures, like the thought of your wedding day where you're going to be wearing a nice dress, you're going to feel beautiful, you're going to feel really proud of yourself, or the thought of going on a holiday, or thinking about being able to keep up with your kids. It's that seeking of pleasure. I can see that, and it can be very motivating, and that will always drive you forward. But sometimes it's the avoidance of pain that is the biggest driver. It's the biggest most powerful short-term driver. If you keep just trying to avoid pain, it will only get you so far. You need to sort of transition into the seeking of pleasure at some point. But the avoidance of pain can be really fucking motivational. And if it makes you cry, when you think about what you're avoiding, the way you don't want to be anymore, a lot of time people do get really upset. But we always know if you get upset, then you are going to get some fantastic results, because you're going to do what is required. You're going to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to do the things that you might not want to do because you know how important it is to you. There's this Jenny Riley's on. Jenny, hi. Jenny, you've come up as like, welcome to one sentence.
Good.
I have no idea, but you've come up in like a big block, like normal people when they
So
make
has
a
Jenny
donation.
jumped from here across? Yeah, she must have jumped across.
Yeah.
She jumped to YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, she's jumped to YouTube. A wee donation from Anne as well. Gunshot for Anne. Thanks for the donation. But yeah, so Jenny's come up in the same sort of context she comes as a member. Can people be members of us?
Remember, they subscribe to the What do they call it? They call it on YouTube. It's called I think it's like a subscription or a.
Definitely, yeah, it is, because she's also got her logo next to her name too.
Yeah.
So is Anne.
Yeah, because Anne also subscribed to it a while back.
But then Jenny's got it on the I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
I think it's like a membership on YouTube.
Lizzie's asking, can I ask where you film your videos? I live and worked out in Edinburgh a lifetime ago, and scenery brings back memories. Lizzie, we film our videos all over the place. Many different fields, wooded areas, whatever tickles our fancy.
The sledging one was filmed just across from Blackford, which is just down from Gleneagles.
Yeah.
There's hills near there, in fact. Yeah, you won't be able to see Gleneagles in any of the footage, but Gleneagles Hotel is a 5-minute drive from where we were, basically. That helps.
Tinzunza says, I love the Highland cow at the back.
Moo! Do you like my little stormtroopers?
Oh, I need to bring my little Buddhas in.
Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Stephen's going to get the same, but he's got his Buddhas.
I've got my Buddhas, but they're in my man cave at home, so I'm going to bring them in and I'm going to put them on the shelf behind me here.
There we are. Pamela's saying, life is a learning curve. We live to learn and learn as we live.
Yay.
With a heart and a star.
Ali Baker's giving us a donation. Gunshot.
Yay.
Don't need the guns. Grow your beards instead. Oh, you get the guns.
My beard's grown back in now, though.
Ali's got an epic beard. Look at that photo.
Oh, right, actually. Sorry, it's because I've been watching Cobra Kai, and the chick in Cobra Kai is Ali. So the minute he said Ali, I was thinking of a girl. He says, Ali's got a beard. I was like, really? But of course, Ali must be Alistair or something, right? Yeah.
Don't need the guns. Oh, you got the guns.
Maggie's asking, what are good exercises for people with rheumatoid arthritis? Listen to your body at all times. Work out which exercises aggravate it the most. Trying to get anti-inflammatories into your diet. So someone asked earlier about foods that are anti-inflammatories. We mentioned things like honey, turmeric. What was the other ones again we mentioned? Fish oils.
Garlic, ginger.
Collagen as well. You can get a collagen supplement or get some bone broth in. It helps. But listen to your body. warm up properly before doing any sort of movements, and if there's anything that really causes you a lot of pain and discomfort that is not normal muscle pain, then avoid it if you can.
A lot of the time it's best just to do isometric movements. So say for instance if you've got arthritis in your knees, you don't really want to create a lot of repetition through like a knee joint, so make sure don't flash. But if you're constantly, doing this but with pressure and weight going through your knees, it's just going to grind away, it's going to cause more damage. So you're better doing isometric, which basically means the muscles, iso means same, so isometric means same length. So basically you're doing something like a wall sit where there's no movement in the knee itself, but you still got the tension going through the joints, through the thigh muscles, through the hamstrings, through the glutes, through the calves. So you can still get a really good workout without the joint constantly moving. So isometric movements is really good for when you've got arthritis.
Pamela's saying, where's the girlies, Nala and Tilly? Nala's sleeping down there. You know that saying, let sleeping dogs lie.
And Tilly's at home. Tilly had her ovaries out the other day. And so although she's feeling great, she's very, very energetic, I'm just leaving her at home for quite a lot of the day so she can recover. And when her and Nala get together, they're just constantly play fighting, and I just didn't want a wee paw going loose or a tooth going loose and taking the stitches out. So keep her at home for the next couple of weeks.
Is there more questions coming through? Or?
Ali, yep, Alistair. Scott Darton. JJ say, all right fellas, sent you a Facebook message. When's my kilt come in the mail? Jokes. I know the kilt is like a black belt, so I'll get it later.
I like it.
Not at all. In fact, a lot of people just do decide to buy kilts because they like the way it looks. So yeah, absolutely go for it. But one of us will pick your message up as soon as we are available. We'll have a few messages to get to after we come off this live. Regular doctor agree with you. I'm doing dumbbells, said Fred. I don't know what the start of that conversation was.
Right, said Fred. Now remember, if you are considering making changes to your health and fitness, and if you listen to the start of the video about how this membership probably might not be for you, if you listened to everything, all the points we said, and you still think, yep, this membership could be for me, then drop us a message on Facebook or go to our website, thekiltedcoaches.com, read the information, message us there. The conversation is free. There's no obligation to join. Sometimes you get real value from simply having a conversation about your goals because it might put things in perspective for you. I was speaking to a lovely lady just the other day, Jen, who right from the bat says, look, I've just recently lost my job. I don't think I could afford anything. And I said, look, let's just have the conversation anyway. We went through it, and I say she was in tears. I think it was good tears, because when you bounce, as a coach, you bounce things back at a person, and then she realised different things about what she needs to go and change about her health and fitness. And she's off making changes herself now. So she said she took a lot of value simply from having the conversation, and she never even signed up. So it could be you. So if you're thinking about making changes and you think the membership could be for you, drop us a message.
It could be you.
You.
Remember that lottery?
That was the national lottery with the big finger, wasn't it?
Could be you. So anyway, you can either go straight to Facebook, try message us. If it doesn't work, go to thekiltedcoaches.com, click on the button to message us if you want to have a chat with either Rab or myself. And if you're really struggling with that, you can email us, coaches@thekiltedcoaches.com. We'll come straight to us. It's a joint email, so one of us will reply to it, and then we can have a chat.
Now, tomorrow evening is Burns night, and we're going to be having a whiskey live.
Yes, we are. We are going to be cracking open. For those who are on, in fact, YouTube can see the bottom of the bottles. We've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bottles of whiskey. We will be sampling every single one of them tomorrow night,
which is going to be awesome. So what do we reckon, 9 o'clock we're going to come on?
Do you reckon 9?
Or earlier?
I think we'll go for 8.
8 p.m.
Because normally these things, because we're having a few whiskies, we tend to stay on and blather a lot of nonsense. It will be an Ask Us Anything live, so we'll just take questions. It can be about weight loss if you want it to be. It can be about Scotland if you want it to be. It can be about Rab Stormtroopers if you want it to be. It doesn't really matter. We will be having whiskies. We might even get some haggis on the go as well. Have a blather, have some food, and we'll just have a good old time with Burns night.
Come and have a dram with us, why not?
We might even read a poem.
We should.
We should.
Or try to read a poem.
Rab might write a poem.
Rabbi has to read a poem, doesn't he? Right, I'll get a poem, right, and we'll get it sorted.
Right. We'll love you and leave you. It's time to crack on with a few conversations.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, and if you're free tomorrow night, please join us. It will be, what time is it now?
5 to 7.
It's currently 5 to 7 here in the UK, so 2 hours from wherever you are in the world. 2 hours from now, no, in fact, we said 8.
We
1
said
hour.
8. 1 hour from where
1
you are
hour
now.
from now, tomorrow night. So it's basically 25 hours.
In 25 hours' time, get your whiskey.
How else can I explain this?
No. We'll probably in fact, we will put a post out advertising it anyway.
Yeah,
So.
so in 25 hours' time, we will be going live with whiskey. Come join us. Pour yourself a dram yourself or a glass of wine. Come and join us and have a blabber.
Right, everybody, have an awesome day.
Bye-bye.
Boop.